And thanks to that gigantic wrench, Hellboy managed to survive the fall this time. Let's not mess with it. We still have no idea where we are, but any area that is not backwards must be forward. We can see some of those sewer creatures are in cages.
You don't look so good, fella. I like you much better caged. Keep trying, fella. This one's starting to smell.
Kalin may have been doing some experiments on them as well.
Sarah!
I am not me anymore. Our shadow is caressing the moon. I have come to your world to make ready again. And this time I cannot be stopped.
Huh?
Now die.
Kalin. Oh, yeah? Ah, jeez.
And just when Hellboy's pistol would finally be useful, we lose it forever.
What the...
Fortunately, running around aimlessly and punching things that he barely understands is one of Hellboy's specialties. So let's try to do some thinking on his behalf right now. We have no idea what killing Kalin is going to do for us. We have no idea if that's going to stop the portal from opening completely. We might, however, get the amulet out of all of this, which apparently is instrumental to stopping the portal, but we could have just been lied to about that. That's a very real possibility. This is assuming, of course, that Kalin can be killed with punching in the first place. I think Hellboy makes that assumption about a whole lot of things, that they can be killed with fists. And, you know, he hasn't exactly been wrong so far. Which brings to mind the question of whether Kalin actually thought he was going to be able to win this fight. That was not a terribly good decision. I'm not sure why he decided to teleport there, of all places. With all of Kalin's careful planning, I'm sure he won't be defeated by a lack of foresight, like, ow, I did not expect Hellboy's fist to hit this hard. We still have no proof that he even sees us as an actual threat. I mean, we've done nothing to impede him so far. In fact, we've actually helped him. Accidentally, but we've still helped him. Though he does presumably know that we've defeated some of the Nohawk's Canis, which probably registers in his grand master plan. If things get any worse, we can at least ask Herman for guidance.
So, you are stronger than I thought. But the portal is opening, and nothing can stop it, now that you've helped me destroy the amulet.
What about Sarah?
Why don't you go see her? See her and marvel at what she has helped me to accomplish. The world is changing.
Ignoring that the amulet and our hope has apparently been destroyed, let's pick up the staff. Damn indeed, as this staff is actually more powerful than our fists and revolver combined. Kalin needs to be more wary of what he leaves around after he vaguely dies in a way that might actually not be his death. It was a little hard to tell. As we enter episode 5 with a classy artwork transition and some amazing music, we have a new staff to test out on something that moves. Yeah, we're pretty much invincible now. However, our newfound power to destroy pesky three-legged demons in one fell swoop might not actually help us a whole lot in closing the portal. The amulet is the key to everything, which according to Kalin was destroyed. So, we're out of luck, and we're facing an impending demon invasion. But if the amulet weren't destroyed somehow, then we could theoretically find the one that Peter failed to find in the present. And we're back out here again, with absolutely nothing to guide us but the comforting sounds of a thunderstorm. We could check in the asylum at the vague hopes that we would find something useful, but there's another gate over here that we have yet to open. We've progressed using nothing but dumb luck so far, so I'm actually kind of optimistic about this. As we enter this area, we can see that Kalin has placed a curse on all textures not mapped to a 3D object. And what appears to be a town up ahead, though I would not hold out hope to talk to any villagers.
I've found the amulet, but the Nohawk's Canis have found me, too. I don't feel safe with it. I've stashed the amulet in the old church, keyed to the music below. I'll retrieve it once I'm sure that Mitri's all right. The amulet should open the way to hell, or close it.
Way to go, Peter. But where's the music?
Just one thing real quick. There we go. Alright, it sounds like Peter was pretty close to solving this whole thing himself. If he hadn't been killed by the Nohawk's Canis, he may have been able to seal the portal. It's probably safe to say that without Peter, we would have never actually gotten this far.
What is this, zombie town?
Maybe if Peter and Herman had teamed up, then none of this would have actually been necessary. But we can't stand around thinking about what might have happened. We have to find that music sheet that was mysteriously missing from Peter's note. Hopefully Kalin did not obtain it somehow and destroy it. And hopefully it's not in a Nohawk's Canis' mouth, either. Not that Hellboy would have a problem getting it out, but once the portal opens there will be hundreds, and it'll be hard to tell which is which.
The music matches Peter's note.
And we can see the music sheet was hidden behind one of Kalin's sinister black force fields. The man is an evil genius. We have the note now, and along with it presumably a way to reach the amulet, so for once something vaguely good is happening. But let's not be too optimistic. I mean, a freak gust of wind could blow it out of our hands, or a zombie could eat it. I suppose we are very lucky that Hellboy can read music at all. I'm not sure if that's ever been brought up previous to this. Right up here we have a much needed health pack. And directly behind us we have who I like to call the zombie champion. The zombie champion is not actually any harder to fight than the average zombie, he just has more health. If we assume that these zombies used to be villagers, maybe this guy was the chief, or the mayor, or part of the police force, something. He was something special. Fortunately, he is still vulnerable to our magic stick.
Take that, you piece of crap.
And he's dead now. Or dead again. He was undead to begin with, I suppose. And this place should look just a little bit familiar. I'm going to detour real quick to get a health pack, but you don't need to see that. I promise absolutely nothing important happened during our little backtrack. The music did get a little more excited. So now that we found ourselves back at the church, it's time to put this music sheet to some good use.
How about that? This looks familiar.
So now that we have the amulet, all we need to do is find the portal to hell, and I have a good idea of where it might be. First though, we need to make our way back through the Asylum courtyard. Because we can't go back underground the way we came. The elevator doesn't work like that. You know, no matter how hard Hellboy tries, he always seems to arrive a little late to the scene of the crime. I mean, this entire village is already screwed, and Peter's dead, and all this horrible stuff is happening. We got here way late.
What the?
We have another one of these fellows on our hands. Luckily, he is just as vulnerable to our new magic staff as anything else. I have to wonder whether that village we saw was still populated while Peter was around, or whether they were already zombies. Peter seems like he was a fairly calm guy for everything that was going on. I also wonder how many people working at the BPRD had families, because it seems like a very high-risk job. Oh, he's dead. You may remember that there is a giant suspicious hole down here.
From the looks of things, I'd say Kalin's portal is opened. Maybe I can do something about it if I hurry. Hello, down there.
Hellboy!
Sarah! Sarah! Sarah, I'm coming to get you. What? No, I'm not this. This cannot be me.
Hellboy!
Sarah. Hold on. Getting us out of here.
First things first.
Judging from Hellboy's horns, you might guess that we are definitely in hell right now. And that creature right there may look a little bit familiar if you remember the symbol on Kalin's clothing and on his banners. There's no way we're going to be able to attack that thing directly, even with our new staff, so we've got to find some way around it. Because I think it's definitely safe to say that the sooner we're out of here, the better. There's some symbol up here possibly tying the creature to the portal, so if we stab it with our staff, that happens. It's understandable why Hellboy is so distressed at his current situation, because for all of his red flesh and his tail, he still considers himself a person. He does not want to be this monstrosity. He might have been hoping to have at least one investigation where he did not have to tackle something deep and personal about himself, but no such luck. No such luck. So as usual, he's blindly pressing forward, hoping to make progress, but we don't know how the amulet will react with Sarah once we give it to her. As Peter explained, it could very well make things worse. Much, much worse. It's also possible that this creature we're fighting right now is Kalin, and if that's the case, he might very well be immortal. And then again, even if the amulet works, how are we going to get out of here? Is Hellboy just assuming that the amulet's going to bring them back? As usual, there's a whole lot of uncertainty and no answers, though perhaps for his own good, Hellboy's a little focused on something else at the moment. I imagine this whole situation cannot be terribly comfortable for Sarah, either. As we attack this thing, it does seem to be opening a bridge to her, which is a very good sign. That also means that the moment of truth for Hellboy, Sarah, and by extension the entire world is very close. This monster is doing absolutely everything it can to stop us, but we're inevitably going to reach her in the end. Everyone involved, the monster included, is just a spectator here to whatever the amulet decides it's going to do once we give it to Sarah. Perhaps this will finally be the time where Hellboy's lack of understanding bites him in the ass in a bigger way than it ever has before. Either way, it looks like we're all out of time, as we have absolutely nothing left to do now but pull the trigger. Here goes everything.
Right. I hope this works.
If it doesn't, I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not sure, but we have to get out of here.
How?
I think I know.
Ow! I could do without the falling thing.
It's not so much the falling as the landing. You get used to it.
Hellboy, we'll need the Bureau to send someone for Peter.
We owe him a great deal. He led me to you. What he must have seen.
What was all that about? The twin brothers and the amulet and those things?
The only thing you need to know is we won't have to worry about this whole thing for another 666 years. Come on, let's get out of this place.
And that's Hellboy Dogs of the Night, which I think is pretty damn great. It's not perfect, yes it has a lot of flaws in the gameplay department, but it stays very true to Hellboy. Now I have a quick list prepared of all the reasons the PlayStation version is extremely awful in comparison. The entire plot twist where Mitri was revealed to actually be Kalin, that's gone. You never hear about that, so you have no idea where the amulet you just got went. That's just gone. The water pipe puzzle is broken. The staff is completely missing, it's just not in the game at all. And so the final boss is completely different. Peter's note on the tree is missing, as is the music sheet. Hellboy's horns do not appear, and it makes no sense how he's able to leave Hell. And lastly, the voice acting in the PlayStation version is atrocious. But with that out of the way, this game is awesome, and I hope you enjoyed watching it, because I certainly had a good time playing it for everyone. See you soon.